So today we have a good little modification. This is the Flytanium Arcade, Flytanium's newest model. This is being marketed as a modification platform, in which case you can very easily replace the scale insets. Comes with replacement ones. These happen to have the smoked Altum or the black G10. You can also purchase innumerable versions. Here I have the stonewashed or raw titanium, which is what we plan to install today. Also easily designed for you to replace the thumb stud. It fits the Benchmade bug out thumb studs. And they also market a significant number of backspacers should you choose to do that. What we are planning to do today is going to be replace the scale insets and the backspacer. And so we're going to do this together, hopefully without too much drama. And so stick with me. We're going to take this down to high speed, do it together. I think this is going to be a really fun one. And then at the end, we're going to do a little comparison video between that and the Demko 8020.5, which this one I've done a tremendous amount of modifications to. All right, stick with me. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we are all done. That was, I would have to say, just incredibly easy. So this side on the show scale, literally pull out 2 screws. The insert just falls out. And replace it, right? Pretty straightforward, no complications there. On this side, you take the pocket clip off, take the 1 extra screw out, set your pocket clip aside, insert falls out. Now, the complication came into replacing the backspacer, or replacing the standoffs with the backspacer, which, there you have it. I think that looks fantastic. Now, the way to do this without creating a mess, as those of you that have ever taken apart a Shark Lock, if you take this completely apart, there is a spring right here in this area that once the liners are separated from the lock mechanism here, that spring notoriously will shoot out the side. When I did this upgrade, I did this in a hotel room while traveling for one of my son's swim meets. And it was just something to do at night, took my mat, did everything. This thing shot out and disappeared in the hotel room. Did exactly what everyone warned me would happen. We scoured that hotel room. Fortunately, my son was smart enough that he actually looked in the hotel trash can, which was all like at least 10, 15 feet away. And literally the spring was in the trash can, because otherwise the knife would have been useless. That being said, they do sell aftermarket springs. Demko does. I bought a set of 3 and I just have them in my storage box. Should I ever lose one, now I have extra springs. So the Shark Lock here on the Arcade has the same spring. So of course, as soon as I started doing it, I started thinking this spring's gonna shoot out. But what I did was I loosened the pivot, was able just to space it far enough that the spring did not get exposed here, and was able to kind of drop the 2 standoffs out of the way, slide in the backspacer, tighten down the pivot, drop my 2 screws in, 1 screw, pocket clip, done. One thing I did notice is this is the screw that fit in this backspace here, the pocket clip the pocket clip screw closest to the butt of the knife. They sent a satin as well as a black screw that is longer. There you can see the length difference. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the camera. If I can get that up. Let's see if I can just put it in my hand, bring it up close enough. Okay, so you can see the difference there. Okay, so of course, not bothering to think much about anything, I just was like, huh, wonder why they sent extra screws. Who knows? So what I found out was this screw would not bite through the depth of the scale and into the liner once I put the titanium. And I would assume that's because maybe the titanium's a little bit thicker, just a hair thicker. I honestly don't know. But either way, once I realized it wouldn't bite, I tried switching the screws, still didn't bite, pulled out that extra screw that they sent, used that instead. So this one will go into the bag with the standoffs as a backup screw, and we'll drop the black one in there as well. So there's the Ultim, smoked Ultim scales that came with the knife. There is the G10. I will say I kind of like those smoked Ultim, but now here's our finished product. So I don't know what you guys think. You can let me know down in the comments, but I think that looks just spectacular. I love kind of the Stonewash, the raw titanium. It all kind of blends nicely, makes it a little bit less of a kind of gimmicky knife and more of just a classy finish. The other one I'd considered was doing copper here and here. Although just recently, if you've watched my other videos, I have a mini bug out that I did a black micarta scales with copper backspacer and thumb stud. So I kind of decided to go copper on that one. Anyway, as soon as I tightened down the pivot, just snug, I didn't have to make any adjustments. It is drop shut, easy. Thumb deployment, middle finger deployment, shark lock deployment. It does need a little breaking in. If we were to compare it, now here's our AD 20.5. This one has been modded out as well with different scales, thumb stud, deep carry pocket clip, and titanium backspacer. I will say I like this backspacer much more than this grooved backspacer. Kind of like the texturing that I feel back there, but that's okay. But if we compare these, they have a fairly good handful. This one's just a little bit more of a neutral. I would have to say this one's maybe on a tight grip, maybe a hair more comfortable. I get a little bit more of a pocket clip bite. We'll have to see if Lynch Northwest ends up making a deep carry pocket clip that'll fit this. So overall, excellent fit and finish, very easy. You can see how much thinner the blade is. Excellent slicey. I think this is going to be a great user, great carry. It's got a good steel, got a nice finish, S35 VN. And a Stonewash finish here. I'll probably replace that thumb stud at some point. I have a whole bunch of extra titanium bug out thumb studs. I don't know, I might leave the purple, but I thought about, changing it up, either going with a titanium or maybe even a Flytanium. Here's a titanium in a stainless. Or in a satin finish that I have here on a NAFS lander. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed that. I think this gives a nice introduction to this knife. Thanks for joining us today, and hit that subscribe button. See you soon.